6 ways women destroy your masculine frame, and how to reclaim it without becoming cold or controlling. There's a hard truth many men don't hear often enough. Your masculine frame isn't something you build once and keep forever. It's not a badge. It's not a trophy. It's a discipline, a state of being that must be maintained. In a world that constantly encourages men to be softer, more understanding, and to prioritize her feelings over your needs, it's easy to lose yourself while trying to keep a woman happy. The irony? Most women don't even want a man who loses himself for her. They want a man who holds his center, who stands grounded no matter how emotional the storm gets. But here's where it gets dangerous. Some women, consciously or unconsciously, chip away at that masculine frame. Slowly, subtly, with actions that seem innocent on the surface, but are lethal in their impact. If you've ever found yourself feeling emasculated, lost, reactive, needy, or emotionally unstable in a relationship, chances are your masculine frame has been compromised. Let's unpack the 6 most common ways women destroy your masculine frame, and how you can spot, stop, and survive each one. 1. Testing your boundaries and seeing you flinch. One of the most common yet misunderstood ways a woman can chip away at your masculine frame is by testing your boundaries, not out of malice, but instinct. In mature relationships, especially, these tests can be subtle: a dismissive tone when you say no, a challenge to your plans, or a playful jab that crosses into disrespect. She's not looking to break you, she's looking to feel you, to see if your words have weight, if your decisions are anchored in confidence, or if you're just posturing. And the moment you flinch, backtrack on a decision, over-explain to appease, or let her reframe your no into a maybe, you lose a piece of that masculine energy she was drawn to. She may not say it, but she feels it, the loss of polarity, the dimming of your strength. That's when attraction starts to erode. The key isn't to become rigid or domineering. It's to lead with calm, grounded conviction. Mean what you say what you mean, and stand in it, not to control her, but to remain true to yourself. Masculine frame isn't about dominance. It's about being unshakable in a world and a relationship that will constantly test your center. 2. Withholding respect, but still expecting intimacy. Here's one that hits hard, especially for mature men who've been taught to keep the peace at all costs. When a woman withholds respect, but still expects your emotional presence, sexual energy, and commitment, it slowly destroys your masculine core. Respect isn't just about big gestures. It shows up in the little things. How she speaks to you in front of others, whether she values your input, whether she consults you before making decisions that affect you both. Sarcastic digs, eye rolls, emasculating jokes, or dismissive tones might seem like small stuff, but over time they bleed you dry. And when you bite your tongue just to avoid making it a thing, you're not keeping the peace, you're abandoning yourself. Women may crave emotional connection and sexual intimacy, but if she's constantly disrespecting your presence, she's asking you to pour into a cup she's steadily cracking. The fix isn't aggression or icy detachment. It's presence. You call it out, not to shame her, but to draw a line that says, "This is who I am, and I won't shrink to be loved." Reclaim your frame by responding, not with anger, but with grounded self-respect. A calm, clear, "I don't appreciate being spoken to like that," reminds her, and you, that your presence has weight. It's not about controlling her. It's about protecting your dignity. Because without respect, intimacy isn't passion, it's performance. A simple, firm, "I don't like how that came across," or "let's speak to each other with respect," can be more powerful than any argument. Because it shows you're not afraid to rock the boat when it's drifting off course. That's leadership. That's masculinity. That's how you reclaim your frame. 3. Hyper-emotional dumping to decenter you. In mature relationships, one of the most underestimated frame killers is when a woman offloads her emotional chaos onto you. Not occasionally, but chronically, and you begin to orbit around it. She's upset, and suddenly your day, your focus, your energy gets hijacked. You shelve your plans to play therapist. You silence your needs to keep her from spiraling. At first, it feels like compassion, but over time, it becomes emotional enmeshment, and it destroys your masculine frame. You start living in reaction to her moods, rather than leading with your own center. And while she may not say it out loud, she feels it. The loss of your grounded presence, the shift from leader to emotional sponge. It's not about being cold or detached. Women do need emotional connection. But they also need your stability more than your sympathy. The moment you make her emotional storms the axis of your world, you shrink in her eyes. The mature fix? Don't absorb, anchor. You listen, you validate, but you don't lose yourself. A calm, "I hear you, that sounds tough," followed by silence and presence is more powerful than scrambling to fix or mirror. She doesn't need you to feel it for her. She needs to feel that you won't drown in it. That's the difference between being her safe space and becoming her emotional dumping ground. Reclaim your frame by staying rooted, especially when she's unraveling. 4. Turning you into her, yes man. It often starts with the smallest requests. Can you change that shirt? Do you really have to hang out with him? Let's not go there tonight. I'd rather do this instead. And before you realize it, you're no longer living as a man with agency. You're existing as a curated version of yourself tailored to her comfort. This isn't love, it's quiet manipulation, often unconscious on her part, but destructive all the same. You become her emotional valet, a man who exists to avoid conflict and keep her happy at the cost of your own truth. And while she might say she appreciates your supportiveness, underneath, the dynamic shifts, respect fades, desire cools, and you become less of a man and more of a mascot for her preferences. The moment you start saying yes to everything just to keep the peace, you've surrendered your masculine edge. That's the death of polarity. Women don't lust after what they dominate, they crave what stands firm. The fix? You don't need to be an asshole, but you do need to remember who you were before you bent so much. Say no when it matters. Defend your time. Prioritize your friendships. Wear the damn shirt. Not to defy her, but to honor you. She might pout, she might push back, but deep down, she'll feel something she's been aching for, your unapologetic masculinity. 5. Mothering you into passivity. One of the sneakiest ways your masculine frame gets dismantled isn't through conflict or criticism. It's through comfort. When a woman starts overcaring, reminding you of appointments, making all the plans, deciding where you both go, handling emotional check-ins, even laying out what shirt you should wear, it might seem sweet at first. Supportive, thoughtful. But underneath that maternal nurturing is a dangerous shift. She's becoming the mother, and you slowly are becoming the boy. You stop leading. You start waiting. You lean back into her caretaking energy because it's easy, safe. Hell, it even feels good. But over time, she stops seeing you as a man she can surrender to and starts viewing you as a man she has to manage. The polarity dissolves. The desire fades. And now, instead of intimacy, the relationship starts feeling like a parent-child dynamic. That's the frame killer, passivity disguised as peace. The fix? Take the reins back. Not in grand, macho gestures, but in consistent masculine leadership. Make decisions, plan your outings, manage logistics, take emotional responsibility without needing a prompt. Show her, without saying a word, that she doesn't need to mother you because you're already standing in your manhood. And when she feels that shift, her feminine energy will soften. Not because you demanded it, but because you gave her what she's been craving. A man who leads with strength, not dependence. 6. Weaponizing sex and affection. One of the most emotionally manipulative ways your masculine frame gets dismantled is when sex and affection become tools of control instead of expressions of connection. You start to notice the shift. She's not just pulling away because she's tired or stressed. She's doing it to punish, to train, to subtly make you jump through hoops for closeness. Maybe she goes cold after an argument. Maybe she dangles intimacy like a reward you have to earn. Suddenly, you're not enjoying her touch. You're chasing it, craving validation instead of connection. That's not desire, that's manipulation. And here's where many men fall into the trap. They try harder. They get softer, more accommodating, more desperate, hoping to win her warmth back. But every time you react that way, you lose ground. The fix? Pull your energy back. Not with spite, but with calm, grounded detachment. Let her feel the absence of your attention when it's being taken for granted. A man who values himself doesn't beg for affection. He makes it clear. If love becomes a weapon, I won't play the game. That energy, the man who doesn't flinch, doesn't chase, and doesn't lose himself in pursuit, is deeply attractive. It recenters you, and if there's still any respect or desire left in her, it reignites the flame. Final words. She doesn't want a puppet, she wants a pillar. Women may test your frame, but they don't respect a man who doesn't have one. The moment you stop being the man she looked up to and become the man who follows her lead to avoid conflict, the polarity dies. Masculine frame isn't loud. It doesn't bark. It doesn't dominate. It's calm, grounded, unshakable. And when you protect it, not by controlling her, but by owning yourself, everything changes.